There's more important things going on. We got Andrew Knizner on. What's up, Kiz?
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
Man,
morning.
We're freezing here. Freezing cold. What's the weather like down there? And, I know you're grinding. I know
He's working.
You're busting your ass. I get that. But have you taken that fishing pole out lately? I'm just curious.
First off, weather is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't want to rub it in too much. It's beautiful. Can't beat it. And yes, actually I have. Yesterday we went on a big trip.
Oh.
Me, Miles, and a couple buddies went out way offshore, about 40 miles offshore.
Oh, wow.
And did some fishing.
What'd you catch?
Yeah, what'd you get?
We caught a ton of stuff. We caught some wahoo, yellow eye snapper.
Oh, wow.
We caught Miles actually caught the biggest fish of the day. No surprise. He caught a massive grouper. Massive. Ended up catching some really big dolphin, or also known as mahi-mahi.
Oh.
Some 30-pounders. We caught a little bluefin tuna, or blackfin tuna. Sorry, I'm still working on all my fish names. Mm-hmm. We caught a bunch. We caught some other things too. Some different types of grouper and some other fish that I'm probably forgetting. Queen snapper and some other things. But what I did learn is the further you go out into the ocean, the bigger the fish get.
Well, yeah. How was it choppy out there? And what do you do with the fish?
Going out, because we left at right around 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was pitch black. We're out in the middle of the ocean,
Man.
pitch black. You can't even see 5 feet in front of your face. And it was very choppy. And it was also pouring down rain.
Oh.
So we were going through a rainstorm, and it was choppy, and it was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm not going to survive. But, I looked over at one of the guys that was driving the boats, one of Miles' best friends, who actually he plays baseball, RJ Alvarez. And he's driving the boat, and he's singing along with the music we had blaring. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't be that worried, because he looks pretty relaxed driving the boat in these conditions. Choppy, a little choppy on the way out. Once we got out there, the sun came up. Beautiful. Water was relatively flat for the middle of the ocean. And then the way back into it was pretty flat. So overall, pretty good boating day. At the end, filleted the fish all up, and then we had 6 guys out fishing total. So kind of divvied it up evenly, and some people eat it, some people give it to family members. So we eat pretty much every single part of every fish.
Who does the filleting?
Good question.
Miles does a little bit of the filleting. RJ is the main guy. He's really good at it. I've never had any bones in any of the fillets he's ever done. So I always try to get the fillets from RJ. He's pretty elite with it.
So I know there's guys down there. Contreras supposedly has made his appearance catching some pitchers down there in their bullpens. What's going? Because you're our eyes and ears, and we're starving for things that are newsy.
Our spy.
And our correspondent.
Correspondent.
Sorry.
So give us some stuff that's newsy from what you're seeing down at the complex.
Well, I think Paul Goldschmidt's going to make, his first appearance over at the complex today. I've seen him over at Cressy hitting and doing some work over there, and I think he has a couple different gyms he works out at. But I think he's going to come over, stand in against some of the guys that are throwing bullpens today. Same crew. We got the same crew today throwing bullpens, so 5 or 6 bullpens, and then I brought up to some of those guys, I was like, hey, we should probably start throwing live to some live hitters. So I think maybe on Friday, Michaelis might throw live. A couple other guys might throw live if they're feeling up to it. So we might finally start getting some movement towards some realer baseball action. So that should be fun.
I guess Goldschmidt just got there because over the weekend, after Tyler's baseball practice, we always take him to Wally's truck stop. Everyone's heard of it. It's pretty great. Wally's is like one of the great truck stops in our area, right? And I went in there, and one of the ladies behind the register said, Goldie was just here. You just missed him. So I was like, because I'm a correspondent too, I said, what was Goldie buying? Candy for his kids. Candy for his kids. So he must have taken care of the kids and then got on a plane with them. So that's in case you needed to know what Goldie was up to. He was spotted buying candy for his kids.
Oh.
Okay, I'll have to ask him about that.
I can see how that goes. Yeah, what do you care?
So what's on the docket today, man? What do you got going?
We got some bullpens. We got a little bit of hitting, some hitting drills and cage work. Maybe might try to hit outside today. It's so nice out. You know, it's not 12 degrees like St. Louis, so might try to hit outside a little bit. And then got a workout. Got a new block of workouts starting today. So I don't really know what my lift holds, but I'm sure it's going to be something tough, and I'll probably be sore for a couple days.
What members of the coaching staff down there with you at this point?
There aren't many coaches. Our hitting coach, newly appointed hitting coach, Daniel Nicolaisen, I think that's how you say his last name. He's been down all off season. He's been the main hitting contact, and he's been the guy shuffling everybody in and out of the cage, setting up cage times. He's done a really nice job with scheduling and really doing all the hitting work with all the data that we can get with all the cameras, TrackMan, 4D motion capture. So he's been our main guy down here doing all the hitting work. As far as the lifting side, there's been a lot of lifting coaches, mainly some minor league staff, and then actually a newly appointed strength coach, assistant strength coach, Frank Witzkowski. We got some tough names.
Yeah.
He's been down kind of running point on all the workouts over at the complex. So there's been guys popping in and out though, but for the most part, there's staff spread out, kind of moving in and out all the time.
And kids, we didn't ask you about this, but a few weeks ago, the news about Matt Holliday, who of course was going to be the bench coach, and it was a tough decision for him. Decided he wanted to stay in Oklahoma and be around the kids. That'd have been cool though to have Matt Holliday on the staff, but you got another veteran guy with a lot of experience in Joe McEwing instead.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that would have been awesome to have Matt Holliday coach. I could say I played for him and his dad, so that would have been kind of a cool little story I'm sure people would want to write about. But I think, he went a separate way. That's fine. I think, at the end of it, bench coaches, I don't know, obviously I guess the reasons was maybe being around family and stuff, which bench coach is a really tough job, and you are going nonstop all year round, scheduling, pretty much doing everything, running the team. So it's a big task, and I'm glad he made the right decision for him and his family.
How about this? Just the Cardinals offense. I feel like sometimes fans and media don't give the offense enough credit for how good it was last year in terms of some of the rankings in the National League. And I think this past offseason, a lot of folks said, hey, we need another bat. And I know the team goes out there and gets Wilson Contreras. But if you look at some of the numbers last year, your guys' offense was right up there top 3 in the National League.
Yeah, the offense was really good last year, and it's going to be really good again this year. But, I think the thing, when people look at our offense, obviously everybody wants to be number one. We want to be number one in the league, and I think that's our goal every year as a team, is to be number one in pitching, number one in hitting, and number one in defense. And when we're not at the top, obviously we want to strive to get there. So as good as we were last year, as good as especially our top guys were with Arenado, Goldie, those guys carrying the bulk of the load, I think this year we're going to have a lot of guys build off success from last season, especially the younger guys. And I think that's going to make our offense even better and maybe even make a stronger push to get to that number one spot in the league on offense.
Yeah, man. We're all excited. Hey, post some of that stuff on your Instagram. I want to check out those fish and the boat and all that. Very curious.
I will. I'm editing the fish right now to make them look a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I get you and everybody else. Did you put weights in the fish too when you weighted them? Yeah,
no,
man.
Didn't do that.
Yeah.
Didn't do that.
Oh, yeah, they don't like that down there. All right, man. Well, hey, good luck to you. Get your workout in. We'll talk next week.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys next week.
See you, big
See ya.
dog.
Thanks,
See you, big
Kiz.
dog. Andrew Knizner doing his thing. I just love hearing about like going, dude, that's so cool. And look, he had a center console. So so when you go out there and it's choppy, man, those center consoles are awesome. He's probably got a big probably 3 or 4 big ass like 300s on the back of that damn thing. But with those center consoles, man, you're getting rocked by the wind and you're getting rocked by the rain. They don't cover you, right? So like that's a tough trip, 40 miles on one of those, especially when it's choppy and that wind's hitting you with the rain. Yeah, dude, you think you're like driving into hell. It's brutal. It hits the side of your face, but you got to keep going because it's choppy, so you have to get on plane. Because you don't get on plane and go fast enough, you're going to be like, ba-bam, ba-bam. So you got to get on plane and cut the waves, and it's kind of miserable when it's raining.
But it's Florida, so you know there's good weather coming, right? The
Maybe.
weather just changes.
Yeah,
Florida,
maybe.
It looks like tropical storms
I
all
know.
day, and then 2 minutes later, sunshine.
Yeah, but it could go on, and you could be out there, and if it's choppy and you're 40 miles out, you're like, doosh, doosh. You can get seasick. I don't care if your stomach's a rock, man. You can get seasick so easily. And then what do? You're going to bitch to the guys that you got seasick? They're going to be like, no, take a damn pill and sit down and puke over the side. Don't get any on the boat. We'll have to wash it out. So you can't be like, we got to go back. No, they're committed out there.
You throw up over the side.
You throw up over the side, but sometimes you're like this, Jimmy, puking everywhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Man, and not to mention what's lurking under there. You got a lot of bait.
I mean,
You got a lot of bait.
and it always starts harmlessly. Like Gilligan and the skipper,
Yeah.
they just went on a 3-hour tour.
I know. But then they were like able to like create all these things and just they couldn't figure out how to leave. Right?
They had a golf cart
They had a
made
golf
of
cart.
straw and coconuts.
And when they left, they decided to come back. They didn't like life the way it was.
No.
It was simpler on the island.
Hey, did Gilligan get a little touchy-feely on set?
I don't know about that. I feel like everybody did back in the day, unfortunately.
Who hasn't?
I remember looking this up. I feel like when you grew up watching Gilligan's Island on Nick at Night,
Yeah.
you thought there was like a million seasons. There wasn't.
No.
I think there was only maybe 2 or 3.
2 or 3, I think.
Oh, really?
And
That
the first
show's
one-
gigantic out there.
You know, I'm big on equity, and I always felt like
Sure.
the professor and Mary Ann weren't counted as part of the
I know.
right because the initial theme song said "and the rest,"
And the rest.
almost like the dais was
Kinda like
Seth
what we do.
and Nate.
Kind of like what we do.
But someone had the courage to rectify that, and then the theme song was updated with the professor and Mary Ann here on Gilligan's Isle.
Gilligan.
98 episodes plus the pilot.
Yeah.
And they did a movie, correct?
I don't know.
I think they
never
did.
got into it, man.
It's a funny show.
You know how much a fishing excursion would cost? Like what he was just describing?
Well, the
if you
boats-
just went out on a private deep sea fishing excursion and caught all that fish and had somebody fillet it up for you.
Yeah,
That
dude.
would be a very expensive day on the water.
So what?
Well, you're
500
going to
bucks a
Vail.
head?
I think higher than that.
No, Jimmy, it's expensive.
I
as
think
hell.
it's like probably $1,500 or $2,000
to
a
get
day.
those kind of fish that they got. They're fishing for like tuna. Those are
Jersey
expensive.
Shore, you could go out on a group boat, and I don't think it's that
Yeah, it's a-
expensive, but you probably aren't catching what they're catching.
Well, his boat's probably $1 million.
Now I said private though. I mean, he had 6 people on that boat.
That's a big boat.
That's really how you
All that
want to
equipment.
do it. Those big boats, you get a lot of people on the.
Yeah, but
Now you're a man of the people, you know.
no, you don't want to be around other people. You want to go with your buddy that has a badass boat that knows what he's doing. You could, do whatever you want on.
That
Dude,
is
he was-
like the
that's-
coolest thing.
Yeah.
That is on my bucket list. Deep sea fishing
I just don't want to
sounds
get
great.
I don't want to get jammed up on a storm, but I would do that, man. 100%. They're catching some big old fish. Those fish are expensive too, man.
Now wait a second. You, the king of vertigo,
Yeah.
you're gonna go out there on a choppy ass.
Well, I'm not in the air, homie.
Pitch black.
Vertigo, for the most part. Well, yeah, I like the water.
Okay.
Now, the ocean's a different animal. I told you that, man. I'm not.
Tear you up.
I don't know the ocean. You want to put me on a lake on a boat, I can get around and do my thing. I could get around people and stuff like. You want to put me on a river? I could fly up. I could see the channel. I know where to go. But on the other hand, dude, the ocean, especially at night, the ocean's deep here. There may be something out there. Like I don't know. It's scary. You got to know what the hell you're doing. But that's cool. That's why I want to ask him. Like he's doing cool ass things. Post that mug.
That's cool.
I want to see it.
We've done a couple deep sea charters, but in the Redneck Riviera. Not as expensive. Down there near Destin Way.
Oh, about Daston.
Catching some snapper.
Man, I'm excited about going to Florida. I hope I don't annoy her family that much. I am not used to going on family trips, so I might have to get in a golf cart and go cruise around and stuff like that.
When are you going again?
Oh, March. In March.
Because I was going to say, if you're there when I'm there, come on down.
Yeah, but that's 7 hours because we have people in Jupiter that we know too, and
Plus,
Kate's
we
like,
have a show here to think about.
of course, but Kate's like, they want us to come down. I go, 7 hours. How about they come to us? Can that happen? But
Yeah, it seems
I
like
think
everybody's taking lavish vacations except for Seth and I, the only real dedicated members of the show.
Excuse me.
I guess I'll plan all my vacations around all you guys.
Sorry, didn't you go to Toledo?
Oh, yeah, Toledo.
Well, you could have changed that and gone
Toledo?
to Florida.
No, I'm furious.
Toledo?
This is one of the things where now I'm really mad. Like you always say, are you saying that when I'm at spring training, it is not hard work? How dare you?
It's not.
Jimmy,
It is not
dare you.
hard work.
I'm sick of this talk.
Dare you?
I think
I'm sick of
actually
this talk.
you could probably do the show the whole 3 hours from.
We're gonna get them.
I don't appreciate you marginalizing me.
That's right. 314 chimes in and goes,
Just saying.
was on a fishing charter when a water spout was on the water. That's scary, man. There's a bunch of those. Now, they're not too powerful, but they'll rock your boat.
What is a water spout?
It's a tornado, water tornado.
And it could take the whole boat down?
Hell yeah.
Are they ever huge?
Look them up. Look right here. Check out these monsters.
Is that what happened to the minnow?
Monsters. Look at those bad boys. Now, they can come from land and then hit the water and suck up the water. Oh, yeah. They'll put you in a jam.
Do you think that those things are caused by underwater
No.
UFOs?
No, I don't. But I did see another video of a UFO go underwater, but I'm like, I don't know. You just don't know. Who's on there?
We got Stanley.
Stanley, what up, baby? You're up early.
Steamer.
Hey, I'm an early guy now, Cam. I get to listen to you every morning again, man. Yeehaw.
Yeah, Stanley boy.
Whenever I hear you talking about being on a boat, that's, the theme song just comes into my mind, just sit right back and you hear a tale of a fateful trip. That's you. Hey, listen, You guys mentioned the Gilligan's Island earlier. And Kat, you might know this, I'm not sure, but now they did do a movie, and didn't they get, I'm pretty sure they got rescued, but at the end of the movie, they got to go on another trip to make up for how bad their trip was, and they got stranded again.
Isn't that bad luck? Isn't that bad luck?
But who in the hell would go on another, chartered yacht trip after you've been stranded on a deserted island for 10 years?
When you want to make another movie, that's when you do it.
And how did they stay away from Marianne and Ginger? I mean, it's just how?
Well,
how could they pause? Marianne was so hot, dude.
I don't think they did behind the scenes. I think a little Pepe Le Pew action going down.